guys, it's Zoe. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 of my AutoBuy authors. These authors fall into one of 2 categories. The first one is an author that I own everything they've written and I've always loved them. And the second category is one that I've loved some of their later works and I haven't read any of their earlier ones yet, but I will get around to, and any subsequent works will be AutoBuy, if that makes any sense at all. Before I get into that though, the last language that I did, so probably 3 videos ago, not really sure because I stopped there for a couple videos. Anyways, the language from that video was Haitian Creole, and I think everybody got it right. The only thing is though, most people just said Creole. I knew what they were talking about, but Creole itself is not a language. There are many different kinds of Creole, and the one in particular I was talking about was Haitian Creole. The language for today is one that the sounds are very foreign to me, and I love the way it sounds, but I am not confident that I will be able to recreate them properly, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. This language is Hai Innu Anlun. Innu Anlun. I'm gonna go double check. Hai Innu Anlun. This one is really throwing me off because from everything I've read, there are 3 distinct dialects and any which way is the right way to say it, but I think I'm combining some of the dialects. I'm not 100% sure. So this is very likely a hodgepodge of all 3 dialects. Hai Innu Anlun. Innu Anlun. I'm just gonna let one of you guys correct my pronunciation and talk about something that I actually know about, authors that I love. The first author fits into the second category where I don't own everything that she's written, mostly because a lot of them are novellas that were published as ebooks, but I really do want to read them one day. This author is Gail Carriger. The books of hers that I have are the Finishing School series, which is the prequel to the Parasol Protectorate series, which is a prequel to the Custard Protocol series. These are all set in the same world, well, naturally, if they are prequels and sequels to each other. Obviously, Zoe. God. They're all set in the late 1800s and an alternate universe where electricity didn't actually work out, so everything is steam powered. It's a very steampunk sort of world, and vampires and werewolves are quite decidedly real. As for the reason why she is one of my AutoBuy authors, I honestly just love her style of writing. I love the sense of humor in these books. I love the whole idea of Victorian manners and etiquette, and I really just love the way that these 3 series were done. The novellas that she's written are also set in this world, so I know I'll love them just as much. The next author is another one that I don't own everything she's written, but what I've read of hers I absolutely love, and anything else that comes out I am automatically gonna buy. I don't even really care what it's about because I just know I'll love it, and everything that she's written that I haven't read I want to buy immediately. This author is Laini Taylor. The 2 series of hers that I have and loved are the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy and Strange the Dreamer. It's very shiny and I like it a lot. These 2 aren't set in the same world, and there are many things that are different between the 2 of them, but her writing style just drew me in completely with both of these. I'm gonna put this one down because that's in my eyes. That was very shiny in the eyeballs and I'm not a fan of that. Anyways, something about her writing style is just so weird and quirky, and her imagination just draws me in right away and keeps me hooked the entire time. What's been making me love her and her books even more has been what I've been hearing on Twitter about what she's doing with The Muse of Nightmares, the sequel to Strange the Dreamer. She's talked about it a few times where she's trying to find a way to wrap up everything without just killing the villain. Personally, I think that's fantastic. It's always just a little bit too easy when you can just kill the bad guy and everything's hunky-dory. I mean, that's not to say it's not fun where you just kill off all the bad guys and the good guys and just people you don't really know about. Game of Thrones. I'm just really interested to see how her mind is going to work and how everything is going to end up at least semi-okay in the end. This next author, there's only one thing of hers that I haven't read, and it's an ebook that's only like 30 pages long, I think, but I have everything else that she's written. This author is Leigh Bardugo. She's written the Grisha trilogy, the Six of Crows duology, the Language of Thorns, and Wonder Woman Warbringer. The Grisha trilogy is the only one that I haven't finished, although I do have the third book, I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm 100% confident that I'm going to love that one as much as I did the first two, so I'm not worried about that one at all. One of the main reasons that I love Leigh Bardugo and I will buy anything else that she writes is not just her writing style and the world building that she does, but it's the characters. Something about her writing makes me fall in love with the characters and really care about them. This really happened. It was like that in the Grisha trilogy, but it happened even more so in the Six of Crows duology. I think it's the fact that they're not really heroes in the Six of Crows duology. They're more anti-heroes. They're not really good people, but you still really end up caring about them. Any author who can make me love a villain or an anti-hero or anyone that you're really not supposed to love, but the author wants you to anyways, if that makes sense at all. Any author who can do that, I love it. I love morally ambiguous characters. What does that say about me? I don't really know, but I really love them. Maybe it's the fact that I do nothing with my life and I have just a squeaky clean reputation and I just need to live vicariously through someone else who's more morally ambiguous than I am. Maybe that's it. Well, whatever the hell it is, I love the way Leigh Bardugo does it and I am here for anything else that she writes, especially the Nikolai spin-off. Oh god, I'm so ready for it. Anyways, no matter what she writes in the Grishaverse or outside of it, I love the way she does it. Like the Wonder Woman Warbringer book has nothing to do with the Grishaverse, but I love it just as much as I did the Grishaverse books. Maybe because I love Wonder Woman and Leigh Bardugo? I don't really know, but whatever the hell she did with that book, for me, she did it perfectly and it's one of my favorite books. I feel like I'm rambling a lot right now and I should probably stop doing that and just move on to the next author. I love Leigh Bardugo. I mean, technically this is false and I can't really say I love any of these authors because I've never met them, but I love their books. So close enough, let's just move on. The next author is one that I have no shame in saying I love. A lot of people don't like her books and I see why, but that doesn't stop me from loving them. This author is Sarah J Maas. She's written the A Court of Thorns and Roses series and the Throne of Glass series. I don't know why I grabbed the last book instead of the first one. Whatever. Well, this series. I don't even care if I'm gonna get any hate for saying how much I love her books. Honestly, I'm not ashamed of it, so I'm not gonna pretend that I'm ashamed of it to make anybody happy. I can't exactly pinpoint what it is about these series that I love. It's just like an all-encompassing feeling. The Throne of Glass series kind of reminds me of a Game of Thrones type thing, except less characters, and all of the different plot lines are within one person. Why is nothing I'm saying making sense right now? I have no f***ing idea, but we're just gonna roll with it. I love the way everything's been coming together in the Throne of Glass series. I love the characters and the plot twists in both the Throne of Glass series and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like, yes, it's not entirely unique and original, but I really just don't give a shit. Yes, I can see why Throne of Glass gets confusing at times with all of the different characters that are added in. Like I said, kind of a Game of Thrones thing, except not 50 million characters, but I've always loved a badass female character, and yes, it wasn't as good at the start of the series, but as it's moved on, I've loved the different character interactions. I love the way she makes me fall in love with a certain pairing and then totally rips my heart out, but makes me fall in love with another one, so everything ends up okay in the end, but my heart is still broken about the first one. I love the way she makes me fall in love with certain characters individually, and then makes me hate them, and then makes me love them again, and then hate them, and now I just don't care about them. It's an emotional roller coaster reading both of these series and I just love it. I'm just really excited for any of her future projects just to see how they live up to the first two series, and honestly, again, I really don't care what she comes out with, I'm going to read it. The last author on this list is the only male one. This author is in a totally different genre. All of the other ones have really been fantasy of some sort. It's my favorite. Of course, the AutoBuy authors are going to be from my favorite genre, but this one is more in the mystery thriller genre, and this author is Dan Brown. He's written Deception Point, Digital Fortress, and the various Robert Langdon books. This one is The Da Vinci Code and The Lost Symbol. It's a very pretty bind up. I'm a big fan of it. I think the reason that I love Dan Brown is just because he mixes history as well as mystery, and that kind of rhymes, I like it. The fact that the books have taken place in multiple countries and not just in one place with the same history being hashed out again and again is really, really appealing to me. I love his style of mystery. I love the fact that I can sometimes predict what's going on, but at the same time, I really have no clue. It's the kind of mystery where it's not going to freak me out and keep me up at night. I don't really like those kinds of mysteries, but I like this kind where everything gets wrapped up neatly, except in Inferno. That one didn't, and it really threw me off, but I really, really liked how it threw me off. I think part of it too is the fact that he is the first sort of mystery writer that I ever read, and he will always hold a special place in my heart. I remember reading Digital Fortress and Deception Point in grade 8, I think it was, and I don't remember those ones as much. I remember liking them, but I read Angels and Demons at the same time. I think I read them all for book reports or something. But Angels and Demons really, really stuck with me, and I've loved every other book in the Robert Langdon series since then. So because of that, I'm really excited to see what he comes up with after the Robert Langdon books are done. Or if he's gonna just, you know, pull like a James Patterson thing and just keep writing more and more books in the same series till nobody can remember what the books actually are. Maybe. We'll see. But knowing me, I will still keep reading them because I love them all so much. It's kind of different for me though, because one of the main reasons, I don't even think I mentioned it, whatever, for the other fantasy authors is the world building. I love good world building. If it's not there, I'm really not going to end up liking the books. Which is weird that Dan Brown is one of my AutoBuy authors because there's no really world building involved. That's one of my favorite things to read, so it's just weird to me that one of my AutoBuy authors doesn't really need to do that in his books. I'm not gonna think too hard about it because it's gonna give me a headache. I'm just going to accept the fact that I love these, and whatever he puts out, I'm going to end up reading. And with that, that brings me to the end of my 5, was that 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, cool. That's 5. Math is hard. I can't count. Some of you may be wondering why J.K. Rowling is not on this list, given the fact that I am obsessed with Harry Potter. Well, there's one reason for that. I haven't read anything else that she's written. I haven't read any of her adult fiction that she's written under a different name, mostly because I'm nervous about it, because will anything live up to Harry Potter? I've heard that it does, and I will get around to it one day, but for now, she is not on the AutoBuy list, also because Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I have no idea why she was okay with that. If you watched the bookshelf tour, I shelved it down there with the fantasy books under Jack Thorne's name, not up there with my Harry Potter books because it was a steaming pile of shit. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Anyways, my battery's dying, so I am going to wrap this up real quick. That is all I had to say for now about these authors. I could wax poetic about them for years and years, but I'm not gonna do that because really, who wants to listen to that? Not this girl. As always, to stay updated with my current reads and how I'm feeling about them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads, all at You're a Book Nerd Zoe, which I will leave linked down below in the description box for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day and get at least a little bit of uninterrupted reading time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!